Kofi. Whether it is for the Women's World Cup or the Champions League, the VAR has become a liability. There's no longer a game without a controversy related to video assistant refereeing. Initially, the tool was only to be used to fix errors, but obviously, this is no longer the case. VAR made its controversial debut in Women's World Cup, confusing players and coaches as well as frustrating fans. Cameroonians were so outraged by the VAR's interventions during their match against England that they seemed to stop playing several times. In the round of 16, Japan lost to a controversial decision on a penalty kick. You will recall May 31, 2019, the final return match of the most prestigious African club competition that has turned into a fiasco. Now, Esperance of Tunis won the Champions League because players of Wydad Casablanca refused to finish the match. They were protesting against the non-use of VAR after being denied a valid goal. A perfectly valid goal refused by the referee. Video assistant referee VAR that doesn't seem to work. Now, injured players crying foul and refuse to resume a game. Football managers hitting the pitch to try to calm people down. A team that is declared champion in confusion after only 60 minutes of play and then 90 minutes of interruption. Now, the second leg of the African Club Cup CAF Champions League final gave a continental football.
It is a matter of caution. If you see the different countries that use VAR, they do not rush into things from the beginning because it is a technology that many people haven't fully mastered. At first, we wanted to reach the semi-finals, but we insisted that we have to go a little bit further. And then the executive committee decided that if we only reach the quarterfinals, then it will be considered as a success.
For critics of this technology, video refereeing dramatically breaks the rhythm, sometimes for 4 to 5 minutes, resulting in long overtime. Not to mention the lack of understanding that this generates among the public, but also among players sometimes, as demonstrated by the Cameroonian women who were ready to leave the field in the round of 16 against England. Can this misunderstanding be repeated in the quarterfinals of the African Cup of Nations? In any case, the introduction of video refereeing in the competition will be a first. Nevertheless, VAR is being represented by a lawyer. Pierluigi Collina is a former refereeing star. As chairman of the FIFA refereeing committee, he defends VAR. For him, VAR's observation capacity allows minor infractions that are sometimes invisible to the human eye to have an impact in a match.
If the tool, the technology, VAR, make possible to see something, we cannot ignore. We cannot ignore. If we have a tool that can show clearly, with any doubt, that there is an offside position and the goal is scored by a player who was in an offside position, it doesn't matter if it's 2 centimeters or 20 meters. There is not a small or a big offside.
The video refereeing seems to follow a natural inclination in view of what we've seen in the Women's World Cup. As we've seen, errors have become intolerable. The logic is to use the VAR at the slightest doubt. The barrier that was supposed to limit interventions to manifest errors by the central referee was pushed in, and the idea that it would keep his hand denied. The video referees have enormous power and decide the fate of the matches by deciding gambling facts in most arbitrary of ways. Football is trapped in a double impasse. Too many VARs will kill the VAR. Not enough. VAR hampers their claims to do justice. What do you think of this technology? Feel free to send us your comments on @KCoffeeSearch on Twitter. Thank you for watching.